Hi, everybody. This is Alan Ellman, the Blue Collar Investor, with this video tutorial explaining our premium member exchange traded fund or ETF reports. Now, since 2008, the BCI team has produced reports for option selling relating to exchange traded funds. In July of 2020, we enhanced the format of these reports and added additional information. In this video tutorial, we're going to explore the new format for the ETF report, starting top to bottom, pages 1 through 4. Okay, so here we go. We're on page 1 of the report now, and on page 1, we give an explanation as to the screening process for our ETF reports. Now, the second paragraph, moving down on page 1, we give a key for the spreadsheet, which is really the meat and potatoes of the report, found on page 2, which you'll see in just a moment. So it lets you know what each column represents. Just as an example, we have over here on this bullet IV. Well, that's the average implied volatility, which uses call and put options for the statistics. So as you'll see in just a moment, there will be a column titled IV. So the key explains all the headings on these columns. Now, moving down a little bit, midweek market tone. So that's the assessment of the overall market at that point in time. And you could see we give 3 indicators. The General Market Index, or GMI, which is produced by Dr. Eric Wish of the University of Maryland, a friend of mine, and he has great technical analysis capabilities to assess the overall market. It can go from 0 to 6 out of 6. So currently, you're looking at 6 out of 6, a bullish signal, and it also gives the date when that bullish signal started, 4/27 in this case. We also give the published IVD assessment, which was a confirmed uptrend at that point in time. And then we give the BCI assessment at that point in time. You could see here, I indicated that I was 50% in cash because of the coronavirus crisis at the time I'm making this video. And I'm favoring out of the money calls 2-to-1 over in the money calls. So overall defensive posture, but a little more aggressive this particular week because the market had an upturn. And then I give other information as to my positioning in general format. So we're going to move now to the meat and potatoes of the report, which is found on page 2 of the 4-page report. And you could see we have these columns here, which first lists the name of the ETF and its ticker symbol. Then we give the price of that ETF as of market close when the report is dated. Now here's the column that we added from the old format. We're giving 1 month percentage returns. The other report just gave 3 months, which we're still doing, but now we've added the 1 month. And these will be sorted top to bottom by 1 month returns. So this column here will determine the sorting, best to worst. All of them beat the S&P 500. So you see over here towards the top in that light green row, we give the returns of the S&P 500 in 1 month and 3 month time frames. So here we have the 1 month of minus 1.16% and the 3 month of plus 19.20%. And you can see that all the eligible ETFs, starting with KWEB, going down to IWP, outperformed the S&P 500 in both time frames, in both the 1 month and 3 month time frames. So they're showing short-term and a little longer-term strength. Now, the next column over is the IV, which I mentioned before, the implied volatility. And you can see here we indicate the IV of the S&P 500, 2610, and then the IV of each individual security that passed our screens. So as an example, you might say, okay, well, the implied volatility of GDXJ was 48.61. That's nearly double that of the S&P 500. Maybe that's a little too risky for you. Yes, it'll mean higher premiums, but maybe you don't want to take on that additional downside risk. So one size doesn't fit all, and you have to make a decision for yourself, which is the right IV for you. Now, finally, all the way to the right, we have a column of which securities offer weeklies in addition to monthly options. And the ones that do, you will see a Y in that particular column. All right, so that's the top part of the report. Now let's just scroll down to the next section over here, which is the section for select sector spiders. And we list the top 3 performers, in this case XLK, C, and Y. And we list them also sorted by 1-month return. And of course, the other information regarding the implied volatility and weeklies, as well as 3-month returns, are the same as above. Now, the last heading on page 2 of this spreadsheet are inverse ETFs. And those are securities that perform the opposite direction as the market. So if the market is going down precipitously, these will be going up. And we list the 4 inverse ETFs that we consider. Short the Russell 2000, short the Dow 30, short the S&P 500, and short the Qs. And we give all the same information, once again, sorted by 1-month returns. So all the information is right there on this spreadsheet, rather than found throughout the 8 pages, which we had been producing for many, many years. Now it's just on a 4-page format, and the actual information is just on 1 page, page 2 of the report. Now, if we move to page 3 and 4 of the report, these are just explanations of the various headings in our spreadsheet. So we explain what the select sector spiders are. We list all 11 of them. You know, if they add another one, we'll put it into our report. Right now, there are 11 of them. And we give you the ticker symbols of them. So an explanation and a listing of this name and ticker symbol. And finally, page 4 of the report, also explanatory, and it'll explain what the inverse ETFs are. It'll list them with their ticker symbols, and it'll give a little explanation on implied volatility. So if you look at the report, pages 3 and 4 are basically explanatory. So once you kind of know them, you really don't have to go back and look at them again. Page 2 is the key. When I get this report, I print it out and leave it near my computer until the following week when the new ETF report comes out. So this is really the key page over here. And then let's go back, take one more peek at page 1 of the report, which gives an explanation of the screening process, a spreadsheet key explaining all the different headings on top of all the columns, and also the midweek market tone with the 3 statistics that we offer twice a week. So ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's our big video tutorial of the Exchange Traded Fund Report, enhanced. Hopefully you feel that way and agree with us. And we added additional information, the 1-month returns, which you hadn't had for quite a long time. So I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch this video tutorial. I hope this educational product and screening product puts money in your pocket. As always, this is Alan Ellman, the Blue Collar Investor. Take care, everybody.